Hi, my name is Carlos. I'm a middleware specialist, and I want to show you a very efficient way in which you can manage your file-based integrations using Oracle Managed File Transfer, or MFT for short. With MFT, you can not only accelerate file-based integrations between your systems, but you can give your business the peace of mind that it needs while it grows. But first, let's analyze the challenge. In almost any organization, files are, if not the most common way to integrate systems, well, at least it is one of the most common ones, as well as the challenges that this one brings along. But wait a minute, what is the problem? All we are doing is moving one file from one directory into another. For that, we can simply use cron jobs or FTP commands. What about SQL scripts or simply shell scripts? Clearly kids learn this at primary school nowadays, right? Well, it is more complex than that. The reality is that an organization does not have to move only one file, but normally there are plenty of them. And sooner or later, they have to worry about things such as security, high availability, global visibility, exception management, integration with the rest of the enterprise, centralized file transfers, and more. With all this, there are three main issues that every organization will eventually face. Issue number one. Something that was perceived as simple and agile, well, it resulted in just the opposite. Now it is hard to maintain, and it is not cheap anymore. Actually, it results pretty expensive. Issue number two. The most effective way to know of any problem will be to be alert of the telephone and wait for your customers to complain. Then after you apologize, you will promise to get on top of the issue straight away, which you will do by immersing yourselves into lots and lots of log files and try to make sense out of them. This option results not only very expensive, but also, and more importantly, it will give your customers a bad experience. And that is the last thing you want to do nowadays in front of your furious competitors. Issue number three. Because you are going to be very busy searching for keywords in your log files that explain why things are not working as expected, well, you will not have enough time to focus on those ideas that really matter, such as how to improve your business and make it grow by differentiating from your competitors, but positively, not negatively. Now I am going to show you how you can overcome these issues with Oracle MFT and become 100% proactive in managing your file transfers. Enough said, let's do it. Let's go to the Manage File Transfer console. In here, the first thing that I want to show you is how simple it is to create a file transfer. For this, we need to move to the design page and create a new transfer. Let's call it Invoices Transfer. As you can see, I need to configure two things, the source and the target. Let's create the source first. When we create a source, we can choose from various types, including FTPs, embedded or remote, file system, different types of connected to web services, even ODI. In this case, I am going to select FTP embedded, which is an FTP server that comes with MFT. Let's call it source invoices. And the location will be /invoices. Now, because I don't want to get every file that is in this directory, but I just want to filter only those that are, in this case, zip files, all I have to do is just to add the rule start.zip, and that's it. That's only the files that I want to get. I can go more complex than that and add regular expressions. And that's it. My source is ready. Now let's create a target. In this case, let's just call it target invoices. And for this particular case, I want to move this file from the FTP embedded into the file system, the local file system. The location is going to be /Oracle/invoices. Oops. And that's it. In this case, because there is a zip file that is coming through, I want to unzip it, I want to decompress this file. So I can do this very easily by adding a pre-processing action. All I have to do for this is to go to my out-of-the-box pre-processing actions, select decompress, and add it to the list. And remember that I said that this information is also coming encrypted. So in order to decrypt it, I just need to select PGP decryption, add it to the list, and I just choose my private key that is already configured, that was used in order to encrypt it in the first place. And that's it. My target is ready. Wait a minute. What if I want to fan out and also send these invoices to an archive location? Well, that's not a problem. I can add as many targets as I wish. Actually, I can create a new one or simply reuse an existing one. In this case, I'm going to select an existing one. All I have to do is to go to Add Targets. I'm going to choose the target that I want, in this case Invoices Archive. I add it to the list. OK, and that's it. I am already going to be fanning out into two multiple targets. Now I will have to save and deploy my file transfer, and as soon as the invoices file comes to my source location, MFT will do the trick. Let's try it. First, let's move to the monitoring page, which is the location where MFT will show information about all the file transfers. And as we can see, there is no active delivery at this point. Let's drop a file to see what happens. In this case, I am going to connect to the embedded FTP server as invoices, which, by the way, in MFT we can configure the privileges of this particular user. And let me just send the invoices document. If we go back to MFT, we are going to see that immediately this kicked off, and now we can see that there is a transfer that has two targets, which is the two targets that we originally configured. We can see all the information about this transfer. We can drill down into each particular stage of the transfer, like in this case the source invoices. We can see all the actions, we can see what happened, we can see where this came from, how long it took, what was the size of it. If we go to the invoices transfer, we can see in this case there were two separate targets, and both were completed successfully. We can even go and select a particular target, like for example the main target invoices. We can see the actions that we configure, such as the decompression and the decryption. We can see how they were processed. And if we go to the other target, which is the invoices archive, then we're going to see that there were no actions. It was simply copied into an archive location. With this example, I want to show you how easy it is to use Oracle MFT to manage your file transfers. The reality is that this product does not only provide rich functionality to schedule jobs, trigger files, manage operational window frames, leverage your existing LDAP directory, integrate with your existing service integration, etc., but also it is fully extensible, and you can very easily create your own pre-processing or post-processing actions, which you can use across your file transfers. Let's recap. In order to build a file transfer with Oracle MFT, you have to click through and set the source and target. Then you have to configure them, like for example adding compression, decryption, scheduling a job, etc. And then you can proactively monitor the progress. Instead, with a traditional custom approach, you have to first decide which FTP server to use and then install and configure it. Then you have to decide which security protocols to use. Implement encryption and decryption algorithms or use a third-party tool. Implement compression and decompression algorithms or use a third-party tool. Implement data transmission script logic, most likely using cron jobs, shell scripts, SQL queries, etc. Then you have to implement the data integrity transmission protocols. After that, you have to spend a long time and resources implementing high availability. Then, spend time reading log files to ensure the transmission was successful. If the transmission is not successful, then you have to wait for someone to complain so that you can know about it. Then you have to spend more time reading more log files to understand what went wrong. Anyway, the point is that this is more difficult and expensive. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you.